All right, so welcome to the Forge Coffee Break. This is the episode number 66. Thank you for joining. As usual, this is a very open space. No, any questions or topics that you want to bring up, and or no projects that you are working on, and we also share some stuff from our desk side. And again, as usual, let me start with you. If you have any questions or topics that you'd like to bring up, you can open your camera, open your microphone. And let me start with you. Any questions or topics? I see some repeating faces here and new faces. Let me stop sharing. Anything interesting going on? Any projects, any questions?
Augusto, regarding IFC files, I was planning to extract the data from the IFC viewer 3D model. So technically, if we use the SPF, the file, it's much easier. You get just get bulk 2 or 1, and you get all the nodes ID, and then you extract the key value pair. But I'm not sure if it works with the same method if you have IFC 3D model.
So you are extracting the model using the model derivative?
No, so I have the 3D model in BIM 360. I'm trying to build a new app that read the 3D model and extract the metadata, the properties for each object. So it's done when the model is RVT and it's converted to SVF 1 or 2. But when you deal with IFC file, there is a special documentation how to extract the metadata or the object properties?
Yes. So when you trying to translate those files, there are special parameters there, but you don't control that in BIM 360, right?
Not really, but because most of the IFC files, it doesn't come from Revit. It comes from different softwares, right? So because if it's Revit, no need to translate it since BIM 360, it read it like natively.
Okay. Maybe if you want to show me, I think I'm maybe missing something here. Because the way to extract the properties are the same. What changes from one model to one type of file to the other is just the way the information is organized, right? So IFCs will have Navisworks may have different data depending on where the files are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, should be mostly the same. And that's the part that I'm a bit confused.
Yeah, I haven't tried it, to be honest. I tried it so many times with SVF files, CSV files. Actually, it worked perfectly. But I was just thinking if there is special method when it's IFC files. But if it's maybe the same method, it just maybe you need to track it in different hierarchy in the object.
Yes. So it's exactly the same method. The only thing that changes is the instance tree, and because the organization will be a bit different, and the properties that you get are different depending on the model.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I need to try, and then in the front end or wherever, if you click on the file.ifc, you should trigger this method, let's say, or if it's other IFC, trigger the other method.
Yeah. So on the API perspective, is the same, right? You just have to handle differently the data that you have.
Yeah, exactly. You're right, because if you open both the 3D models, right, no matter what IFC or whatever, and if you select one element at the space, and then if you click on the button and the show properties, you read the properties, meaning the method behind it. Every format is the same. The difference is that just the parameter key, technically. So that means you need just to maybe should do it recursively or.
Yeah. Are you talking about the unique ID?
No,
external
I'm talking
ID?
about I'm talking about the other properties. If you take a wall, you have height, width, or volume or area. So if you have a Revit model, you have been translated to BIM 360, you can read it easily.
Okay. So the volume, physical information like that comes from Revit, not from all the formats. So not all formats will have physical properties like volume, right? This property is not calculated by the extractor, but it it came from the original Revit file. So the original Revit file
Mhm.
has that information and
Exactly.
as a parameter, and it's just been extracted. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree, but I'm just saying I'm not talking about Revit at all here. I'm talking about different files because the collaboration between Autodesk and Tekla or Autodesk or another companies, the IFC format, right? So basically, BIM 360, the model derivative, the engine, it can translate also any type of IFC and you can extract the data. So I just want the data in JSON format so you can interact with it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have to try it. It should be the same. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Great.
Cool. So are you planning to go to the Copenhagen accelerator?
I applied, but actually, I was that the other question. I don't want to be like very stingy in the time take all the time myself. I mean, I'm just trying to ask you when they respond because I already applied and I have.
It should be soon. The event is like 3 weeks from now. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because they already asked.
Yeah, I'll ask
You
them to
coming?
make sure. Yeah. No, I'm not
Yeah,
coming
great.
this time.
Yeah, and
I'll ask the
Peter
team.
is coming, or I guess he gotta get a baby soon or something
Yeah.
like
No,
that.
it's
Peter.
he's already his daughter already came, so he's
Okay,
taking some
great.
time home with
Yeah,
family.
yeah,
No traveling.
good. Yeah,
But I
but I
think
guess
Michael is going there. Yeah, I think Michael is going.
yeah, and Jaime is coming as well. I saw
Yeah.
him in New York. He said he's coming.
Yeah, cool. All right, so let me move to other topics or questions. Anyone else? Thanks, Abed.
Hi, Augusto.
Hi, Alex.
Can I present a project I published it recently? It's an NPM package for the guys who works with Viewer, and it could be interesting for the guys.
Yeah, sure. Let's see.
Yeah. So this is the link. I'm gonna share my screen. So yes, it's an NPM package, MVQL. It's a query language for Forge Viewer model.
Cool.
Described here. So basically, I have just moving. So you can write question. You can write filters with logical operators with different kind of wildcard like that properties. So basically, all is described here and it also works against the entire tree structure.
Okay.
So basically, I want now to filter rectangular mullions from that curtain wall, and that's it basically.
Cool. I mean,
So,
do you make the query on the instance tree or on the property database?
Property database.
But you use the same property database, or do you have a mirror copy of that?
I use it directly with execute user function from property database on the model, if I correctly understand you. So it also supports, let's say, just filter it out. Let's see, for example, area property, and let's write a query equal to 38.5, and it will find you. But it also supports changing units. Let it be fractional feet, just feet. And now we can filter like that. So it supports display units, precisions, logical operators, brackets, searches against the entire tree of the model, so it can find mullions from curtain wall, providing let's say assembly code Okay, this assembly code is the same for all curtain walls. Let's filter out, let's say this one. We can try to filter it by where are dimensions? By lengths. Okay. Curtain wall 20.3. So we can write it. Curtain wall dot area equal to this value. I made some kind of mistake, I believe, for 20 length. Sorry,
yeah.
length 20.3. Okay, these two walls, I believe, have the same length. Let's check. Curtain wall and dimensions, lengths, yeah. Curtain wall length is the same, so we need to add some more info about that curtain wall. Type name, lengths, area.
Is there an application that you are working on, or is that something that you are working on as part of your bigger thing?
Currently, it's my pet project, but I want to use it later as a teeny part of ongoing project. So, okay, let's say area is curtain wall to this one. Yep, and we get it.
All right, yeah, very cool, very impressive, and it's like, yeah, I mean, I love it. Any other questions or comments?
I will be happy to see some issues there.
So the data interact with you extracted direct from the 3D model, or you use another API called model derivative?
Only viewer APIs here.
Yeah,
it's completely viewer package, and it uses property database on the background. To be precise, execute user function, which works on worker thread.
Yeah, there is, as I remember, there is a method in the 3D and the viewer API that's called search. And then if you give it third parameter, so take 3 parameter. One of them, if you give it true, it goes hierarchy, and then you give it any information. It can also retrieve. So all days I built similar app, but the things is that you could add maybe color. You say color this when I search for it, it gives you group them, would put them with one color and stuff like that. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this. I guess search, something like search in the 3D viewer.
As far as I remember, it just searches by properties, and this tool allows you to use more complex expressions like that.
Yeah, exactly. Advanced queries.
And so on. So it's basically like a query language for viewer.
Yeah, great. I love it.
Thanks.
Can you do queries with results, like, search for this and then sum up this value?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
SQL.
Probably later, but anyway, I believe lots of applications needs some kind of filter functionality, and what I've seen.
Exactly.
Usually it looks like select property from list, select few value, and so on. I believe at least for a bit more advanced users, it would be nice to write those queries.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. And this is an extension, right? I can
this is basically a library. You can use it in your extension as you want. So just get DB IDs. Also supports it also supports some settings like properties, categories, names, case sensitivities, strings, case sensitivities, and it also can return leaf elements only or from the entire tree.
Cool. Yeah, really good, really nice. And I love the idea. I mean, sharing that and sharing that with us, that's really good. And it's only NPM, right? So anyone can use it.
Yes,
Really, really good.
it's on NPM here.
Yeah. So probably that will go on the summary that we do after the coffee break, and maybe maybe there's other questions after that as well. But it's very good, really, really cool. Love the idea. I think we discussed it a few times on our team, having something like that you can do some queries and return the data, in a easy, convenient way, like Abed mentioned, color coding or tables. Those are the kind of things that people usually want to do, right? Experiment.
Yeah. It's
I mean,
basically almost production ready. Yes, I have some ideas to implement. Also, I think in a month or so.
yeah. I've been working with Shandong like last year when they just launched the model properties API that to query different data, and then so we were working also on improve the queries like from a bucket to get
Yeah.
direct from Amazon. You query your data, and then but the only things we didn't manage to do to get the DB ID for the nested 3Ds. So you cannot select them at the 3D model. You get them directly, exactly, but you cannot go down at the back then. So and then I can't remember what happened after.
Yeah, because one of my ideas for upcoming projects really requires to collect data from tree and query some parts of, let's say, like curtain wall and some properties from mullions,
Yeah, exactly. Because the entire idea back then to build a small application that to do a model comparison, not like BIM 360, because BIM 360 it compared just if it's element deleted or move it or something back then. But we need if rebar it changed some parameter inside the rebar and compare by version back then. So
Really, I thought Autodesk diff extension also shows if properties were changed.
it shows. Yeah, it shows now.
Yeah.
It
So,
works.
but
Perfect.
there is a diff extension in the viewer, and there is a model properties on the server side
Yeah.
that can query those changes, right? So those are they do the same, but no, there is a client side and a server side version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is completely client side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. That's really cool. Really cool. Yeah. Thank you. Any other questions to Alex or comments?
Yeah.
I love that clapping thing. What is that? Yeah. Okay. So okay. Any other questions to Alex or comments? I'll definitely going to share that with my colleagues and share that on social media as well. Thank you, Alex. That's really cool.
Thank you.
We have here Juan that is from Autodesk, and she's working on some research. Would you like to share what you have, Juan?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Augusto. And hey, everybody, I'm Juan. I'm a UX researcher on the APS Dev Portal team. And I'm here basically to promote some of our ongoing and upcoming research opportunities. And by the way, it's great to sitting and observe all of your projects, demos, and just hearing your questions can help us understand the developer experience, and then we can share back to our product team to improve like your experience with our products or websites. And here I'm going to share with you some of our ongoing research projects. And you can quickly sign up if you're interested with Calendly link. But some quick introduction. First, we're doing two research. The first one will be around developer learning experience. So we hope to understand how you learn materials like through tutorials, documentation, or code samples to understand how to use Autodesk APIs or SDKs. And if you have tried various ways to learn those APIs, I would like to understand which way works best for you. And then we also want to explore this idea of developer sandbox and playground experience to help you test while you're learning. So it would be nice if you have ever used any of those sandbox or playground, but that's not required since our goal is to understand the best way for learning, right? And the research sessions will be over Zoom, will be remote. We want to do it around 45 to 60 minutes, and it will be happening in March. We have 2-week time window. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you, or if you have time during these 2 weeks, you can join. I will share the Calendly link in a bit in the Zoom chat. And once upon you complete the study, we will share a Tango gift card as thank you for your time. And then the other research study that I want to call out is this API discoverability user study. So later I will share with you this link where you can find these two research studies. And for this research, as long as you have used Autodesk's desktop or cloud APIs, our designers want to talk to you to understand how you discover the APIs and the learning content for the API. So those two research studies are kind of similar, but if you have a preference, you can sign up for one. And this research will take place this week and the next week. Apart from the ongoing research, I would also like to invite you to join our research community. And this is for future research, because at Autodesk, we do user studies all time around, all year around. And this is for us to talk directly to our customers so then we can give your feedback directly back to the product teams. And then it would be, testing features and also discussing some concepts to shape the future directions for our products. And we might just send you some short surveys to understand your experience or satisfaction. So all types of research. And our promise is that we will only contact you for research reasons. And all of your information and our discussion details will be kept information only for internal use. And yeah, later I will share a link to join research community as well. In case you don't have time in the next 2 or 3 weeks, you can always sign up for future opportunities. Okay, I don't want to take too much time, but thanks so much.
Thank you, Juan. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, so Calendly link, book a time. Those two things will really shape how we organize sandbox, playground, how we organize our information. So, and I know that all of you here, you are working with APIs day in, day out, especially with APS, with Porsche. So yeah, that will really help us. So yeah, please take some time there. And there is a gift card in the end, right? What is Togo anyway? Like, Togo is like Tango. What is Tango gift card?
Oh, good question. Probably I should share more as I was talking about that. But Tango gift card is a digital gift card which you can use to redeem for different sellers, like for Amazon or Airbnb or other partners. Yeah, and it will be based. Yeah, we will ask about your country, and it will be the amount in your country amount. So,
I thought it was like a food restaurant or something, but no, it's good. Okay, cool. Maybe they don't know that much. All right, thank you, Juan.
Thank you, Augusto.
All right, we are very close to the end. Any other last questions or topics? So, from our side, there are two interesting things. Did I share the right thing? I just shared the whole screen. It's usually way too big. Try this. What's happening? It's not sharing, right? Sorry, something is weird with Zoom now. Zoom share. Okay, technical problems. I'm trying to share my screen, but it's not working. Try this. Okay, can you see now? Yeah, you can, right?
Working perfect.
Yeah, was a bit weird. Was not sharing. So we have this thing that is quite interesting. Was released a couple weeks back. Scoped tokens. I know that many of you use two-legged authentication to show models to your customers, right? Now, when you issue a two-legged token, you can specify the scope of that, an additional scope for that token that points to a specific URN on a bucket, right? So this is very designed to help two-legged based applications to be more secure. So when you share the token, you know that that token is only valid for that URN or for that group of URNs. Like you can use star as well. Let's say you have your application with one bucket for each customer of your end customers, right? And as you're using two-legged, now you can create the token that will only access that object inside that bucket or all objects inside that bucket. And that will ensure that in case the user gets access to the token and knows someone else's URN, they cannot access that other URN, right? Because now it's scoped to that specific URN. Yeah, that's quite interesting. If you use the JWT.io, you can see the scope described there with the token information, with the bucket information, and it's used for data read. So you can specify data read for that token. So is that something that came to play any time with your application? You have that discussed with your developer, with some?
Yeah, actually, that's super great, because always you have the security issue that if you have one of your client a little bit he has like programming background and a little bit, he could look entire the URN in your pocket.
Yeah, but he needs the URN, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is not easy. But yes, there was a possibility of someone trying to get other information, access more information than before. So this prevents that. Yeah. So it's now available with authentication. So just create a token, and whenever you pass the scope, you say data read, and then you pass the URN of the resource. So it's quite important, and it's now available. Great. All right. With that, let me share again. We're just on time. Thank you very much for joining today. As usual, the link will be available on Twitter for the YouTube video. I'm also going to post the tool that Alex shared with us. Thank you very much, Alex. And see you in 2 weeks. On the next coffee break, March 8th, Jaime will be your host. I'll be taking a few days off, and Mike will be hosting the coffee break. But see you after that. And yeah, thank you very much for joining today.
Yeah.
See you.
Thank you.
Now in 4 weeks, not 2 weeks, but see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Take care.
Right, guys. Thanks,
Enjoy your
Take
holiday.
care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Awesome job
Bye.
on the tool, Alex.